And Kratos cast himself from the highest mountain in all of Greece. After 10 years of suffering, 10 years of endless nightmares, it would finally come to an end. Death would be his escape from madness. But it had not always been this way. Kratos had once been a champion of the gods, a reminder of his own past, a past he could never escape. No one was safe. Entire armies fell before Kratos and the soldiers who followed him on his unending path of conquest, all in the name of his master. Those who offered resistance of any kind were dealt with quickly. Emboldened by the god of war, Kratos' army was ruthless, feared throughout the world for their brutality. All that mattered was conquest in the name of Kratos, their great leader, who had become near invincible. He feared nothing. His greatest challenge and freedom from his growing madness lay before him in the ancient city of Athens. And with that act, Kratos set in motion the events that would lead to his downfall. And when the oracle looked into his soul, she saw a beast as well as a man. Once a captain in the Spartan army, Kratos had begun his command with only 50 soldiers, but soon his numbers grew to the thousands. His tactics were brutal, but effective. Drunk with power, he was feared by all, except one. His wife was the only one to brave his fury. His desire for conquest knew no bounds, but that which he desired would ultimately consume him. For no matter how much wine he consumed or how many women he took to his bed, nothing on earth could rid him of the horrors that plagued his mind. His only solace was the sea, endlessly sailing from one harbor to the next in service to the gods of Olympus. All his hopes rested within. Leaving the rotting carcass of the Hydra behind, Kratos set sail once more, and replaced only with the will to murder. The wrecked bodies of those who had gone in search of Pandora's box lay before him, and at once Kratos knew who was responsible. For this was not the first time he'd seen the ruin Ares and his minions had left in their wake. Kratos had experienced it firsthand years before. The youngest and boldest captain in the Spartan army, Kratos inspired fierce loyalty in his men. It had always been enough to carry them through any battle, until this day. The barbarians to the east numbered in the thousands, and descended on the Spartans without mercy. A beast, his humanity robbed. The discipline and training of the Spartans did little. Memories of what he'd done in the name of Ares. Memories of how he'd become a servant to the god of war. For 3 days, Kratos climbed the sheer walls of the mountain. He knew he would either recover Pandora's box or perish inside the cursed temple, never to return to the world of man. The path before Kratos was clear, but still, the memories came rushing back, as familiar and permanent as the blades chained to his wrists. But to Kratos, victory was worth any price, even his soul, a cost too high even for Kratos to pay. Bringing forth the power of a god. Kratos had been in service to the gods long enough to know of the decision that had cost Kratos everything. As for Kratos, no mere sword and shield would befit the newest servant of the god of war. The blades of chaos, forged in the foulest depths of Hades. Once attached, the chains remained so, chained and seared to the flesh, a part of the bearer's body, permanent reminder of Kratos' pledge. In return, ultimate power. The rage of Ares exploded from within, but soon he would learn the true cost of such power. Had it been that long since he'd almost met his end at the hands of the barbarians? That long since he'd traded everything. Only a simple pledge of loyalty was required, and his fate was sealed. Ares rescued his new disciple. Descending from Olympus, He saw the makings of a god in a mere mortal. Ares would save Kratos. He would turn him into the perfect warrior, his servant.